Hey everyone, it's Alex on the block, and today I'll be sharing with you the books, some of the highlights of the books that I've read for the first half of the year. So yes, this is the mid-year book freakout tag. I've never done this tag before and I wasn't really planning on doing it, but it seemed like fun, so I just probably super late right now, but there are no rules. Anyway, so let's just jump right to the questions. I've got like a list over here. So the first question is the best book that I've read so far, and honestly, there's a lot of great books that I've read for the first half of the year, but one of the books that struck me the most was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and it's just so good. I read it on audiobook. I cried a little, I laughed a little. It's just such a great book that I've never really thought about reading. It was just like a peer pressure kind of thing because everyone on Twitter has been raving about it, and I was like, what is this book about? So yes, I read that and it's so good. Loved it so much. The next question is the best sequel that I've read so far, and I don't know if this is cheating, but I would have to say Uzumaki Volume 2. Just, oh my god. If you want me to rant about Uzumaki, like volumes 1 to 3, go to my video, my May wrap-up video, and it's just... what? So it's not really a sequel, I think. It's just the second volume. Maybe it's a sequel, but I read it all in one go, like volumes 1 to 3. And I'd have to say that volume 2 is the best of all the 3 volumes. Volume 1 built up the story, and then just volume 2 is just pure horror. Like, my snail boys... Ew, those snail boys, they're going to haunt me forever and ever and ever. And I like to thank Junji Ito for that nightmare because it's just really fucked up. And then volume 3 was just chaotic. I couldn't follow it. It was still very much scary, like it's horrible, like the body horror in that book. I mean, that manga, it's just horrible. But I'd have to say, volume 2 kills it. Yes. The next is a new release that I haven't read yet. And oh my god, there's a lot of books that I haven't read yet. But I'd have to say the 2 most important, popular books that I haven't read yet is Chain of Gold and House of Earth and Blood, or the first book of the Crescent City series. And oh my god, seriously, I didn't know that up to this point I still would not have read those books. But yes, quarantine happened and all this shit happened, and I don't really want to read them on audiobook or on ebook. I want to own a physical copy and see how ginormous they are and just feel all the pages and just have a copy. So I'm holding off on it, even though it's already on Scribd. Like, Chain of Gold has been on Scribd for forever, but I still haven't read it because I want to read it physically. And by now, the FOMO is non-existent anymore because no one's really talking about it anymore. So yeah, I'll probably read it in December. I don't know. The next is the most anticipated release for the next half of the year, and there's a lot of books that I'm anticipating, that I'm excited about, but some of them are number 1, Blood and Honey, or the second book of the Serpent and Dove series, which a lot of people hate, but I did love. Yes. And then the next is The Burning God, which is the third book of the Poppy War series by R.F. Kuang. And then Kingdom of the Wicked, which is, I think this is a book by Kerry Maniscalco, who is the author of Stalking Jack the Ripper, like that whole series of Audrey Rose and Thomas Creswell. Yes, I love her writing, I love her books. That's why I want to try out this one. And I actually forgot what the premise of this is, but I just remember that I'm actually really into the synopsis that's on Goodreads, so yes. And then more recently, I've been excited to read How the King of Elfheim, what is that? It's such a long title. How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories. So this is The Cruel Prince, The Folk of the Air, number 3.5. So biggest disappointment, I've talked about this in my May wrap-up, and it has to be Blood Heir. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, that it's not the worst book that I've read this year, but it's honestly the biggest disappointment because it started out so good and then it just descended into madness and chaos, and it just literally became super horrible at the end. So I'm disappointed about that because it just started out so good. It started out 5 out of 5 stars, and by the end it's like 2 stars. But I still gave it 4 stars because I did really love the first parts. The next is Biggest Surprise, and I think a lot of people put this in their mid-year book freakout tag videos, and it's Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Wow! Oh my gosh. So I never really read adult romances, I think. I think Danielle Steele is an adult romance, and I did like her book Mirror Image. But aside from that, I don't think I've read a lot of adult romances. So I was quite hesitant about this book, and I went into it thinking that it was a young adult romance. Like, stupid me didn't really read the synopsis or like the genre of it. Imagine my surprise when I was on a pedicab beside an elderly woman listening to the audiobook, and it was just yes. But I absolutely loved that book. Oh my god. Actually, I just finished Take a Hint, Dani Brown yesterday, and oh my god, so good. I still like Chloe Brown better, but it's very close. It's like just like
1/70th star difference.
Yes, I love that book so much. It made me feel so many things. It just made me happy. And on that note, favorite new author, Talia Hibbert. So good. Also, my favorite new author is Taylor Jenkins Reid, who wrote The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and this masterpiece as well, Daisy Jones and the Six. I literally read this in one go. No breaks whatsoever. So good. Oh my god. And it's in like a different type of writing. It's in an interview type format, and it's just so good. I didn't think I would love this so much. I thought I would be bored, but no. It's so good. I just love Daisy Jones and I love Evelyn Hugo. They're both flawed as freak, but I love them so much. Next question is a new fictional crush, and I don't really get fictional crushes anymore, I think. When I was in high school, of course, we had a lot of fictional crushes, the time of the golden era of the Mortal Instruments series, Percy Jackson series, all of those series. I had the crush in every series, but now it's just meh, whatever. I like the characters, but I don't really have a crush on them. But if I had to choose, maybe Akira from I Love You So Much. Oh my god. He's just so cute and so considerate and so compassionate and so kind and just so funny. Yes. Also, Red from Get a Life, Chloe Brown. He's just also so funny and sarcastic, and I love him so much. Next question is new favorite character. Of course, Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones, but also Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. I know this is kind of like cheating as well because I mainly consume Tokyo Ghoul in the anime format, like the video format, but I did also read the manga a little bit, and oh my god, I love him so much. I love his descent into madness. I love his innocence at the first beginning of the series, and just I love him so much. He's so badass. Even if he's like tainted already, he's still so pure. And how even is that possible for a character? I've also discovered that a lot of people hate this series, this anime series. Like how? How? But whatever. To each their own. I love it. I love Kaneki. Whoop whoop. Next question is a book that made me cry. I think we all know what book that is. I even made a whole video for it. Everybody cried reading this book. It's the saddest book in the whole wide world, and it's need I say more? Sad as fuck. And then the next question isn't actually in a lot of this tag videos, but I saw it in a blog post, and it's fave book to movie adaptation we saw this year. And of course, it's House Moving Castle. This is the physical manifestation of the term my heart swelled. I love that movie so much. So it's a Studio Ghibli movie. It's animated. It's from a book by Diana something Jones. I'm so sorry, I haven't read the book yet, but a lot of people have said that the book is so good. But the movie, how many times have I watched it already? I don't even know. And I only watched it this year, like during this quarantine season, and oh my god. It's my favorite Studio Ghibli movie, even if I haven't watched all of the Studio Ghibli movies. Nothing can top that. Nothing. And I do want to read the book as well, but I want to own it. I want to read it physically just because it's not, of course, it's my favorite movie, so I want a copy of that beautiful, beautiful book. Yes. Then the next book, And the next question is most beautiful book you've bought or received this year, and I have 3 books, and the first one is Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. It's just, I mean, I think this video has a lot of inaudible sounds, but yes, that's actually my reaction, like oh my, yes, it's so beautiful, it's so heavenly. I love books with this kind of aesthetic with the snake in it. It's just looks so good. Actually, Brianna tweeted about this book. I mean, this kind of aesthetic book covers with snakes on them, and just they're also beautiful. Oh my goodness. Blood and Honey also has a snake on the cover, and I'm so excited. Anyway, the next is Anna K, which I've received, kindly been sent to me by the publisher from the USA, and it's my favorite, no, it's my first physical art that I've ever received. So it's Anna K, it's over there, but I forgot to get it, and I'm stuck with this thing over here, and I really can't go anywhere. So just here's a picture of Anna K. Isn't it beautiful? Just love the whole aesthetic of it. I've also received a digital arc of Aurora Burning, which I still haven't read yet, and it's just one of my favorite covers of all time. It's so good. Beautiful. I've been meaning to read it, but there's this issue with J. Kristoff, and I was hesitant to read it because I was annoyed. I don't know if I'm gonna read it, but I do really love Aurora Burning. Oh no, Aurora. What's the first one? Aurora Rising. I love that book so much, so maybe I'll read Aurora Burning when my hatred for him has gone down a little bit. The last question is, what books do I need to read by the end of the year? And I've got a lot. Basically, all of my TBR, I want to read them immediately. But of course, that's not possible because time, yes. Whew. But the first one is The Dragon Republic, which is the second book of the Poppy War series, and I love that series so much. I just recently read The Poppy War and it's so good. I love the world, I love all the characters. It's just such a badass book and I just want to read the whole series. I'm actually so sad that I don't have a physical copy of The Poppy War, but yes, I do want to read the second and the third book, which is coming out this year. Yes! I need to read the second book before the third book comes out because I want to be in that action. I want to be in the discussion. I want to share my thoughts while it's hot and trending. And then also, I want to read A Song Below Water, which I also have an arc of that, but that already came out, so it's already on Scribd. So I don't know which one I'm going to read, but yes, I do really want to read this one. That's also in my top 20 most anticipated reads of 2020. So at the beginning of the year, I listed down all the books that I'm anticipating this year. So yes, I need to read that. And then Shadow of the Fox, which I was supposed to read last month, but I didn't get around to reading it. But I really do love the premise of it, so yes, I'm excited to read that. And then Vicious, also, yes, I love the premise of it, like the enemies type situation. Also, Fortuna Sworn, I've been sent this by the author and I want to read it. The cover is so good. The story looks like a unique and awesome story, so I'm excited to read that as well. I also have the second book, Restless Slumber, I think. Also, Lovely War, historical fiction, is it? Yes, I've been into more mature books this year. Like, I've diverted a little bit from YA. So yes, I want to read the Lovely War. I think it's just Lovely War. And then Children of Blood and Bone, I want to read that. The second book is already out, Children of Virtue and Vengeance. I still haven't read Children of Blood and Bone. I'm so sad, but yes. Basically, I have a lot of books that I want to read by the end of this year. So if you want to check all of those books out, I'll link my Goodreads down below. It's always linked, so you'll find that there. Just scroll through my anticipated reads shelf and my to be read shelf, want to read shelf. Yes. So that's the first half of 2020. Things are still not looking up for the Philippines. We're still in quarantine. As you all know, I've always said this in my videos, I think. But at least we have books to somehow make us sane. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. Click the bell icon thingy if you want to be notified every time I post a video, because I know some people follow a lot of YouTubers, so they may miss videos. Let me know some of the best books that you've read so far this year and just comment them down below, or follow me on my socials and you'll see me ranting more about books there and ranting about life in general, especially on Twitter. So yes, bye guys!